I just went to that little bookstore in my local library and bought 9 books for $10. As it happened, the books were mostly longer tail, a few decent ones, and one awesome find, which was this Developing and Maintaining Practical Archives, which I got for $2, as you can see. And it is going for about $60 FBA, definitely over $50. I'd say anywhere between $50 and $60. And the rank is not super low, it's 600,000 something. Should sell, especially in the upcoming textbook season. Shouldn't be a problem. So that was an awesome find. Found some other stuff, nothing as exciting as that one. It's always fun to find legitimate textbooks that go for a lot of money. $2 selling for 50 to 60 bucks. That to me is a great sourcing day. I also went to another thrift store and they did not have very much stuff, but the good thing is that I got all the books for 10 cents that I am gonna resell. And I even found a random item that falls under home and kitchen. It's Hoover upright bags, 2 of them in here. So I bought it for $1.50. It's selling for the cheapest MF is about $17. So I'll list it for at least 17 bucks, maybe a little higher, but even $17, I'll be able to turn it into about 10 bucks of profit, which is great. It's very lightweight, it takes up a little bit of space, but it's not too big. The rank, I believe, was either 130,000 or 160,000, which I believe is not too bad. It's not gonna move super quick, but it shouldn't take a year or anything crazy like that. It should move, I would hope, in a few months. And it's in great shape. I looked inside, made sure the bags are in there, unused, all that stuff, super clean. So that was good. That's a brief little synopsis of my 2 sourcing runs. The other thing I wanted to touch on, last night I started submitting books to be returned to me from the various warehouses that they're in. So basically, these are books that have been sitting there for more than a year. I looked at my inventory health, which is on the dashboard, which I haven't really been too familiar with. It also shows you how many books have been there over a year, and I have way too many. I have several hundred. And majority of those books are clearly from when I first started. And honestly, the first about 5 to 6 months of sourcing, which was not consistent for me, until I started sourcing until I started sending shipments every 2 weeks and sourcing more consistently, I was still figuring out what books made sense, because I didn't have a history behind me of not only sourcing but of selling to see what really sells and what kind of ranks take what kind of time to sell and the other factors, etc. So, it took a while for me to really get a handle of what are good books to sell. I would probably say more like a year or so that I really got a handle on sourcing and being able to get a better idea of what's going to legitimately sell quicker. Long tail is great, but I want to make sure that it's actually going to sell one day. I have several hundred books that are over a year old, and I'm going back over them. And the fascinating thing is, I remember these books because these were some of the first books that I sourced back in September and October of 2014. One of the thrift stores where I sourced books had actually closed down. So it's no longer even open. And some of them were from Goodwill when I didn't know that Goodwill was not the best place for books. I hadn't been to very many thrift stores. I just didn't have an idea. I thought 4 or 5 million rank wasn't so bad, but I didn't consider other things like number of FBA offers, number of overall offers. I didn't know about camel. The topic, I didn't really understand. I knew nonfiction in general, but I didn't really get what was a better nonfiction topic or niche, that sort of thing. I'm probably gonna get back at least 100 plus. I already have about 20 that are being returned to me from last night, and I'm gonna keep going through all of those older books. I'll probably get at least, I would say, 100 to 200 sent back to me, which is crazy. These are books I can't sell on Amazon, so I'm probably just gonna have to donate them. I have a yard sale coming up that I'm gonna put on or be a part of at our house. So maybe I'll put a few out, we'll see. If I get them in time, which is probably unlikely. It was just like a stroll down memory lane, seeing all of these books that I thought were great books to sell on Amazon. It turns out they were not at all. A lot of them, it was either there's just no copies being sold, or there's another 1 or 2 FBA offers on there, and some of them are so low that unless I drop my price down to $5 or $4.50 or $4, it's not going to sell. I'm not going to make any money, so I might as well get the book back, because the free return shipping that Amazon is offering right now through April. So take advantage of it. I recommend that everybody does that. So not only am I going to get books out of my inventory that have been sitting there a long time and have been costing money, i.e. storage fees, not a lot, but something. So I'll free up all that money. Even 100 books is going to be at least $1 plus less a month on storage fees. So I'll get those books back. And also, the other benefit is my turnover ratio or conversion ratio or turn ratio, however the proper phrasing is going to be better, because I'm sourcing books that are going to sell quicker now, are going to sell, period. So that percentage, maybe I'm around 5% or so that I'm selling a month of my entire inventory. So that should go up a bit, which is good in general, I think. 2 reasons, just in case Amazon ever takes that into consideration for anything at all about keeping books or accepting books. Also increasing my maximum storage limit, which is 10,000 right now. But when August hits, I plan on selling a lot of books, and they'll either automatically increase my storage limit, or I could call and hopefully be able to get it increased, because I have my percentage, my turnover rate is going to be much better. So hopefully I'll be able to get a larger storage ceiling. Not that I'm anywhere close to 10,000, but who knows, in the next few years, if I can start to do this more frequently, I can get closer, at least half of that. So I would love to get another couple thousand more storage limit, 15,000, whatever it is, whatever they'll give me, my next bump is. So that's another advantage. So lean and mean, guys. If you have books that have been sitting there for over a year, or if you're newer, then maybe not that long, but have been sitting there since day one, have not sold, and you take a look back at them to see if they're worth keeping and continuing to pay storage fees, get them back. You can also have them, Amazon destroy them, but that's going to cost you, some money, not that much, but versus free if they send it back to you, and then you have to dispose of it, whichever you prefer. If you've been doing this for a couple years, you're going to find books that you remember when you first started sourcing that you're going to say, oh, geez, yeah, I did not know what I was doing back then, but I have learned and improved greatly. So it's a fun walk down memory lane, and good to clean all the older stuff out. So I'll let you know how many I end up actually getting sent back to me. My guess is anywhere between 100 to 200, hopefully. So happy Friday. There's not too many yard sales or estate sales around my area, so wasn't able to do that. There's a big book sale tomorrow. We'll see if I can go, I'm not sure, hopefully. But have a good Friday out there sourcing, and as always, remember, keep booking.